one of the roles I had, which I did different variations of for about 10 years, which was being responsible for all the places that accept American Express worldwide. And you're right. I saw that as one of the most important things we could do as a company is to expand the acceptance of American Express around the world. So you as a card member, whether you're a consumer or a business owner, would feel more comfortable using your card and pulling it out and traveling on your trip, knowing that you could be able to do the transactions you wanted to do. So that was one of the most important things. And you mentioned a few countries. We have different models. So there are some countries, like say the United States where we are today, where we have our employees, our colleagues that are responsible for driving acceptance in this country, right? You have other countries, you mentioned Brazil, where we have an outsourced model where we have partner banks, bank partnerships, where we don't have Amex employees in those markets driving. We have licenses with 5 or 6 banks that are there and merchant acquirers, and they're responsible for issuing the cards, doing the customer service, doing the marketing, but importantly, signing up places to accept American Express in that country. So that's an outsourced model. And then you mentioned the Middle East, where we have a joint venture with a JV with another entity that's based in Saudi Arabia that's responsible for the Middle East, and they have a merchant acceptance there. So those are 3 different models. But I would say that one of the things that we did, and I would say the pivot, there's 2 different pivots that we made at that time that made a big difference for us. One was to decide that we would work through partners aggressively, payment facilitators and aggregators like Stripe, like Square, different ones that are large, and Klarna, others around the world that would sign up merchants to accept all credit cards. And we wanted American Express to be part of that bundle that they would offer to merchants. And being a part of that bundle and a part of that offering that would come from the partners and acquirers really did make a big difference for us in terms of expanding our acceptance. So I think that was one. The other is by really focusing in on the locations that matter to current customers, where customers live, where customers work, or where they travel to. And we aggregate all the data from all of our card members globally, went back over a few years and said, what are the places that people attempt to do transactions? And let's make sure that we can cover those places really thoroughly and focusing on industries that maybe people wouldn't think of from American Express. Think of places where you transit, think of buses and trains, not just airports, right, is really important. Tubes, railways, and I think that's really important. And then also where people can eat, but not just restaurants. It could be a truck, it could be a coffee shop, it could be a stand, it could be a vending machine. Anytime you want to be able to eat while you're on the road, we want to make sure that you can use your American Express card to pay. So there are things like that really alter our strategy, which expanding acceptance greatly.